I thought this morning I would share how to make pizza crust using a food processor instead of using a stand mixer. And I've already got a batch of dough proofing in the Breville Smart Oven Air. I've got my oven nice and hot with the pizza stone inside, and it's ready for its first little pizza crust. And then we'll get that out of the way, and then I'll show you the clip where we had pizza night. And Maggie's friend Clara, do y'all remember Clara? She's our little omnivore friend that comes and stays with us for several days. Well, she's in the clips. You'll see her. And when she makes her pizza, we'll talk about what she does to make her pizza. But we pretty much just built our individual pizzas and then just kind of went from there. So I don't know about y'all, but when we have pizza night here, because we have so many tastes, preferences, it's so much easier for me to make the pizza crust and then let everybody just top their own. It's a lot more fun that way, and I just have to, bust my knuckles to make sure that everything's set up, and then let everybody else just come in and do their thing. So, I see that so many people are on. Thank you for being here. Let's jump into this because I don't want our show to be too long, but I certainly want it to be informative. So I'm going to go through all these steps, show you what vegan pizza night looks like at the McKeevers house, and then we'll in the live portion of the show have a little pause, and then I'll open it up for a Q&A if we have time. Sound good? Oh, yay! All right, let's get started making the garlic pizza crust. Now this recipe is very similar to the recipe we used for the holiday dinner rolls. If you have that PDF, then you're going to just use that recipe to make your pizza crust. If you do not have that recipe, then I encourage you today, right after this video or during this video, to go over to my online bookshop on my website, simpledailyrecipes.com/bookshop. Look for the Holiday Dinner Rolls PDF. It's the one with the beautiful pan of dinner rolls on it. And download it. Now, it doesn't have the pizza crust instructions in it for making it with the food processor. This recipe and this technique is under the video. So if you're with me live right now, look there by the title bar. You'll see right to the right of the title, there's a little down arrow, and if you push it, you'll see that the recipe for the garlic pizza crust is right here, along with the food processor kneading method of mixing it. So you guys can follow, you ladies and gentlemen can follow along with that. All right. And if you like this format, please thumbs up this video and leave your comments and let me know what you thought. And if you'd like to further support my efforts in spreading the joy of eating plant-based meals with the world, then I encourage you to go over to my Patreon page and support me there. Or you can support me by going over to my online bookshop and getting your fill of oil-free plant-based recipes from there. So either way, I'm good, I'm open, I'll take whatever. All right, let's get started, for real this time. Okay, so real quick, this is how we're gonna mix up our garlic pizza crust using the food processor. My food processor, if you don't know, is a Breville all-in-one processing system. I love this because the motor for it's like a hand mixer motor that fits right on top of the processing bowl. It has this system. I'll pull this over. The system part is that it comes with this beautifully designed setup where I have all the blades. I have my immersion blender blade. I have a ricer attachment and a mandolin blade So this is my grater. Anyway, and then it has S-hook on this. Anyway, I love this thing, and it's all designed to sit right on my counter so I can reach for it all the time. And it's not just me that uses it, the kids use it too. They really go to town on it. Okay, so the first thing I did before I got started with the flour, the dry ingredients, is I needed to mix and my yeast and my water. So in here I have my yeast and sweetener and water that's been getting busy. You can see it's kind of foamy because I put it together before I hit the go button. In my processing bowl, I want to add, how much? 2.5 cups of sifted bread flour. I like bread flour because it's tender. It makes a tender crust. If you have all-purpose flour, that's fine. You can use that, but I'm telling you, I am a fan. If I'm going to eat bread, I want to eat tender bread, not chewy bread. So I like bread flour for making things happen. Okay, then I like to have garlic pizza crust. So we're going to add garlic powder to this. Oops. Oh, wait, wrong one. Let me get some garlic in there. I'm using garlic granules, not garlic powder. What's the difference? Well, granules are granules and powder's like much, much finer. And I just like garlic granules. Okay, 3/4 teaspoon of salt. Put that in there. And then I want to mix this up real quick before I add the wet ingredients. So I'm going to pop the top on. I've got my motor speed set to medium. I'm just mixing this up. You can't do that with a regular processing system, can you? Gotta get jiggy with it. Okay, the next thing is to get the liquids in there. So I'm gonna take the little feed tube off. This actually has 2 kinds of feed tubes, so I'm just gonna take them both off. I don't know. It don't matter. All right, with the motor running, I want to add the liquids and then continue running the processor until the dough comes together. And I also want to make sure that all the dry ingredients are picked up too. That's it. That's it. That didn't take very long. Wait, hold on. You're supposed to pulse it. Pulse it, baby. Pulse it good. All right, that's it. Look. Bread dough, pizza crust. You can use this to make garlic rolls too. If you don't want to make pizza, you're not in the mood for pizza, but you want to make some garlic rolls, go with your pasta dinner, same recipe. Same. The only difference between this and the only thing you're going to do differently here is that we're only going to proof this dough for 45 minutes to let it rise one time, and we're going to use it for pizza. But if we want to make dinner rolls, then you're going to need to proof it, let it proof it for 45 minutes, then punch it down, cut it up into the pieces that you want, however many pieces you want for your dinner rolls, and then let those dinner rolls rise for another 45 minutes in a warm place, and then you're ready to bake them off, okay, at 375 degrees. And then the time will vary based on how small you cut your dough. Okay, so this is a very lightly buttered glass bowl, and I'm going to drop these into I'm going to put this into the Bravo Smart Oven Air that has a proof mode on it. I already have pizza dough in here. Oh. Dun, dun, dun. I've been busy for y'all this morning. So this is almost doubled. I'll say that this, according to my little timer, needed about 10 more minutes, but because I'm trying to make this look rockin' cool and easy for this live show, we're gonna, I'm cutting this shy, but I'm just being honest with you. So another 10 minutes is probably would grow a little bit more, but this has doubled, and it's ready to go. So I'm just gonna, I wish you could see that. It's got a little gas action in there. And I'm gonna divide this up into 4 pieces so we can have 4 individual crusts. Oh, let me get some flour. And I want to roll this out. And we're going to make 4 little individual pieces. That's right, Annette. You got to make sure you get jiggy with the pizza. Okay. All right, I'm dusting my area. Let me talk about tools real quick before we get into this, because I'm going to get messy here in just a second. Best tools for making pizza. Food processor helps for mixing the dough, or a stand mixer, that works too. I like having a rolling pin for shaping my bread dough. I do not have any Italian blood, so me, stretching it and throwing it in the air would not be successful for me. I am a Betty Crocker kind of gal, and I need to roll it out. So I like to use that. Back here I have a pizza paddle, which is very handy. You might think, oh, this is one of those things that you would rarely use. Yes, it's true. It is something that I rarely use, but I use it every time I make pizza, or if I want to make naan bread or pita bread or any kind of just bread, period. If I want to make a loaf of bread and slide it onto the onto a stone or an oven stone, this is a great tool. It's much easier and it's easy to flour. It doesn't take a lot of flour. This one's already kind of prepped to go, so the dough just slides right off. So this is add this to your kitchen tools if you really want to get into making your own pizza crust at home or doing any kind of baking. I find this to be a great tool. And then I have a little cooling rack back here for my pizza crust. And then in my oven, you're not going to be able to see this, but in my oven I have a large baking stone that someone gave me. I think my Aunt Deb gave me years and years ago, and I love it. And I put it in the oven, set my oven to 450 degrees, and that pizza stone does kind of slow down. Well, anyways, and then you heat your oven to 450 degrees to make pizza. With that cooking stone in my oven, sometimes I notice that it does take the oven longer to heat up, which we're so busy. You're going to be so busy making crust and and doing other things and getting your toppings, you may not notice the extra time it takes. But I'm just telling you, sometimes it can tack on an extra 10 minutes to your preheating time than you expected. All right, I got my 4 pieces. These aren't going to be giant pizzas, so when you could easily double this recipe if you wanted to, but I don't think you could double the recipe in I couldn't double the recipe in my food processor. I'd have to make 2 different kinds of bowls. 2 different dough balls. All right, I'm just gonna press this out. Everybody in my family likes thin crust pizza. If you like thicker crust, you might want to cut this in half instead of 4 pieces and have a thicker crust. Max likes deep dish, and that requires an extra piece of dough, a little more. He needs like a third of the dough, or I need a third of the dough to make a really good deep dish. And I'll show you his deep dish. On his deep dish pizza, what I do is I'll give him a little bigger chunk of dough and roll it out, and I drop it into a cake pan. I'll lightly grease this and I'll drop the dough into that cake pan, and I'll let that come to a second rise so it's a nice fluffy deep dish crust. And then I bake it right onto the oven, the stone until the crust is light brown around the edges. Now, I don't know about you, I'm a big fan of science. I love science, so I like my pizza crust to look like amoebas. Do y'all do that? I'm not, circle is just, you know, so overdone. It's so mainstream, round pizza. Oval pizza is sexy. I like oval pizza. Rounded rectangle is awesome. There we go. Dun, dun, dun. That's it. This is going to be thin. This is really thin. But this is going to bake up so nicely. Now, I've got this rolled out. So I'm going to slide this on to my, or just drop it right onto my pizza paddle. I wish you could see this. And it's just going to slide. Watch this. This is what's going to do. You know you got a good seasoned, your paddle is floured up because you can move your dough. Okay, if your dough sticks, it's not going to come off on that oven stone. So you got a little paddle, and you just want to, when you get ready, you just want to do that. You just want to let it just slide right off onto your stone. And have confidence. Don't get chicken. You'll be like Julia Childs and you'll miss the stone. That's happened to me. You got to have confidence. You're ready to flick it. You're like, come on, baby. You got to make the mark. I know you can do it. Come on. Oh, and then try not to make it go backwards. That's not good. That happens. That has happened. Okay, I'm going to put this in the stone. Put this in the oven. And if you're chicken, you can also just lay the paddle onto the stone and give it a little jerk. You know, a little swish swish, and then it'll slide off that way. Either way works. Now, hold on, I'm talking. Set the timer for 3 minutes. I like to par bake my pizza crust, get it nice and lightly browned on one side, and when it comes time for everybody to put their toppings on, they put the toppings on the brown side first. That leaves that other side of pizza crust ready to bake off, and it becomes the bottom. Now hold on. Let's do this again. I'm going to do this real quick because I'm fast. Let's see if I can be faster at it. Less talking. Just a second. Let me show you what I do for his. I'll do one pan crust. Again, this is for four normal pizzas, but I'm going to take 1/4 of these doughs, one of these dough balls. I'm going to cut it in half. Let me roll this back up. This is going to be Max's deep dish. I'm just kind of, I do try to get this one a little, circular and even. For the deep dish, I've learned it's really important not that it has this kind of shape, that's perfect, but that the dough is even. You don't want thick and thin dough for your pan, for your deep dish, because it just doesn't work. It doesn't bake evenly. And deep dish, the way Max likes it, he likes it with a lot of sauce and a lot of cheese, of course. And I like to use the field roast vegan sausage. We use the Italian, or we'll use the apple and sausage, and I'll cut it up real fine, and we'll use it. Now I'm going to pull this off. Oh, you know what? I need to grease my little metal pan. Here we go. Just a little bit. I'm going to use Smart Balance. They're light with flaxseed oil. This is vegan. And I'm just going to use a little fingertips worth because I want to grease the corner of this pan. One, because it's old. It's an old pan, and not all of its non-stick is in place. It's a good pan. I don't use silicone for this job because I just don't. I like the way this baking pan browns the bottom of the pizza crust. That's the honest reason why I'm using it. All right, and I'm just enough. I'm not trying to make it greasy. I just I just need to make sure my pizza crust is gonna come off the bottom. I didn't do the sides. All right. Let me stretch the ends just a little. And I'm just gonna lay this right inside my pan. This is gonna double a little when I proof it a second time. It's gonna be great. All right, there we go. I was just stretching a little in the pan. I'm trying not to stretch the middle. I'm just stretching the edges because my edges are always thicker. Okay, there we go. That will all puff up with another 40 minutes of proofing, okay? In here. And I'm gonna drop it in here. I've got room in my Breville to put that cake pan and that bowl, so I've got that working double time. Okay, let's stop with that. Did you hear the oven go off? Hold on. I'm not gonna forget, Annette. I won't forget you. Okay. Alright, I'm just gonna use the cooling rack to grab the pizza. Oh, I wish you could see this. It's all puffy. Look. Dun, dun, dun. Look at that. That'll go down here in just a minute. So there's my pizza crust. It's really tender. Ooh, can you see the steam? Oh. Can you see that steam coming out of there? Oh, baby. So this is the light side. There's the brown side. This is the side that you want to put your toppings on. So you're going to have a nice toasted brown side, which is good because when you start putting your pizza sauce on, the crust won't get soggy. So that really helps right there. And then you have this light side and you can get that all brown. And this is still tender. It's not fully baked yet. And it's really a soft pizza dough or soft pizza crust at this point. So, I mean, if you like, you could go like another minute on the back side and you got naan bread right here. This is naan bread. You could name it whatever you want to. It's pizza crust, it's naan bread, it's pita bread. It's all the same. Just depends on where you're coming from. So anyways, there's the pizza crust. Now this one's ready to go and be topped. And then we would put the toppings on here, flip it. You'll see here in just a minute. Okay, so there's pizza crust. Dun, dun, dun. Was that helpful? Da, da, da. Now let me show you. Here comes the clip part. Let me show you what we do to our pizzas. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Let's switch this around. Turn it around. Okay. Hold on. Welcome to the next portion of our show. Okay, hold on. I've had so many people ask me, real quick, side note. I've had so many people ask what this is. This is metal art. It's not a cupcake holder, which I think is really funny. I never saw that as cupcake holder. But it's 2 layers of metal, and the metal has been cut into, and it's spiral on the back side, and it's got the circles on this side. And I don't know what it is about this metal piece, but I just love it. It used to hang over our fireplace, but now our television hangs over our fireplace, and so I'm hanging it in here. It goes with the floor right now, but eventually I'll put something else there. But I just love it. I don't know why, but I love all the spirals and the funkiness, and so that's what it is. It's just art. Just art. Oh, and look, we had the maids come this week, and one of the maids straightened the poodle. Let me fix that. That's not right. There we go. All right, now that's right. Okay, let's get on to this pizza. Let me show you What happens on pizza night? Okay, I'm in the picture. That's good to know. All right. All right, here we go. Da da da. Pizza night. Sorry. Look at that. That's the pizza that Charlie and I like to eat. Okay, so I like to set up like a whole pizza bar and get this ready for people to fix their own pizzas. So here I've got hot pizza sauce. I've got some Daiya mozzarella cheese. We just like Daiya, that's the best. My pizza sauce is just H-E-B's traditional pizza sauce. It's not oil-free, but it's pizza night. We're already putting Daiya on our pizza, who cares? And then for the vegetables, it's so much, I have found it's so much easier to just go ahead and chop up all the toppings and toss them into a bowl. And then Charlie and I will use what we want, and then if there's any leftovers, then we put that on our salad for the rest of the week. Now, I have some tomatoes and olives here separated because Clara, I wasn't sure if she really wanted all that other stuff, so I kept it separate. And then you just saw the, there's the pepper flakes and pepper, that's our seasonings. That bowl of brown, that is field roast Italian sausage, and so that's all set up to go. Here's Max's deep dish pizza. What I've done here is I've taken that dough, I filled it with red sauce and cheese, and then I took that field roast sausage and I ran it along the edge of the crust, pulled the crust over, and made a stuffed crust pizza. It's his absolute favorite. So now we don't go out to eat for pizza anymore like we used to. He can have stuffed crust pizza at home. Now let me show you this. It's so easy. And then I'll put this in the oven. I put that pan right on the oven, and it takes about 10 to 12 minutes just because there's so many ingredients to get that cheese good and melted and get that pizza dough really fluffy. But look at this. So the field roast sausage is all in that tube with the cheese. It is so much fun to make. And I try not to go too heavy because that field roast sausage does have a lot of flavor, but it's nice to taste the sausage flavors. It's absolutely great. And this ensures that he eats the entire pizza. It's awesome. I hope y'all try that. It's really good. Deep dish pizzas definitely take more crust. There he goes. There's my boy. Yeah. He loves it. It's so hot. He's trying not to act like it's burning his mouth, but it really is. He's so sweet. Okay, and here's the girls. There's Clara and Maggie. I love Clara. She's my other daughter. I just love her. So they're fixing it up. They're getting it ready. Now, Clara is not vegan, but she's pretty darn close. She's just almost there. You give her a few more years, she'll be batting on our team. But I told her mom before she came that we were having pizza night, and so that if Clara wanted a special kind of cheese on her pizza, to go ahead and go, pick that up before they come over. Her mom likes to pick up Clara's favorite grocery things. Clara likes to grocery shop for herself, so she chose the cheese, and she just got regular mozzarella. Now Maggie, if y'all were watching this is the picky eater. She just likes the cheese sauce. I mean, she doesn't like any kind of sauce at all. She just likes the bread and the cheese. That's it. That's all she does. But you know what? She doesn't eat like this every day. This is one meal. So it's not like she survives on cheese pizzas. So let's keep that in mind. I don't worry about it too much. Look at Clara. She's getting into it, man. She's getting jiggy now. She's like, I gotta have my mushrooms and my olives. Which is the healthier pizza, you think? That's a good question. And then I popped those into the oven, and those went 7 minutes. I went 7 minutes, and you'll see the crust got nice and brown along the edges, and they were like a soft, crispy, that's kind of oxymoron, isn't it? But they were kind of soft and crispy pizzas. All right, here's Charlie and myself. We're making our pizzas. It's our turn. Grown-up pizza time, baby. We're not holding anything back. You know, let me bring that up again. When you par bake the pizza crust, it really opens up the opportunity for you to add more sauce to your pizza, especially if you're in that zone where you're trying to live without cheese and you're not quite there where you like vegan cheeses. I have been there, I get that. So when you want pizza night, adding sauce becomes that like, oh no, what do I do? If I put too much sauce, I make my bread soggy. But if you par bake the pizza crust, that problem goes away. So you can go a little heavier on different kinds of sauces, not just Italian. You could do cashew creams. You could make anything. You could make any kind of sauce. Hummus, you could put hummus all over that, and then put tomato, put your vegetables on top of that. But it opens it up for you to go a little heavier. There you go. Just see how I just slid that. Well, now that was 2 big pizzas. I didn't use the pizza paddle that time because I had 2 big pizzas. But I was able to fit that on that giant stone. See, I have a big old pizza stone. That went 7 minutes, and they are ready to rock. Da, 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 da. And with all that, now I still had 1 pizza crust left. That was fun. Hold on. Let me get back to this. Okay, to make all those pizzas, I doubled the pizza crust. Well, I doubled it compared to the crust recipe that you're looking at below this video. You would have to double that one in order to make all those pizzas for 5 people, okay? And still have 1 crust left over. If you have the holiday dinner rolls PDF, you'll find that those recipes that just follow those, but do all the pizza steps like you saw here, okay? And you can and I think I said this already, but let me say it again just in case I just thought I said it, but I didn't. If you're going to mix a lot, if you're going to double the recipe, this garlic pizza crust recipe, it's not going to fit in your food processor, okay? That dough's not going to fit in there when you mix it. You're either going to have to make 2 balls and then put them in a bowl and proof it all as one big dough, or you may have to get out your stand mixer if you have one and use it. And if you do have a stand mixer, that's great. And use the instructions for kneading bread dough from the holiday dinner rolls recipe. That all makes sense when you have the holiday dinner rolls PDF in front of you, I promise. All right, what else? That's it. That's all I can think of. That's vegan pizza night with the McKeevers. I hope you found this video helpful and not too long. If you have any questions about the recipe or cooking or I don't know, anything, then please post your questions below this video. I'm talking to the folks that are watching this like 2 years from now, not the live audience at this moment. But anyways, post your comment or questions below and I'll be happy to answer them. All right, thank you so much for watching, and please thumbs up this video and subscribe to the channel and share with your friends because it's good to share. All right, I'll see you bunnies later. Bye.